Today we're making chicken cafreal, a Goan dish known for its fiery, tangy, vibrant green marinade, and we'll optimize it for the home kitchen. Traditionally, you would blend all the ingredients, marinate the chicken legs, grill or shallow fry them. With those methods, the surface moisture introduced by the marinade is not a problem. For the domestic kitchen, on the stove, in a pan, the marinade tends to generate a pool of liquid, end up steaming the chicken, and if you were to take it far, the marinade would start to burn. So today we take a two-stage approach. Chunky marinade, which we could easily wipe off, and a finely blitzed, smooth sauce. Let's do it. First up, at the start of the show, the coriander, stalks and leaves, which provides the fresh, citrusy and herbaceous base. Green chilies of your choice, which packs the punch. We remove the seeds for better texture. The ribs bring mostly spiciness, but not much flavors. If you want it spicier, use more chilies to get a more proportionate increase in flavors. Some crushed garlic for the pungent aroma and savory depth. Sliced ginger for some sharp, zesty, slightly spicy note. And the ginger would also remove any unwanted gaminess and odor from the chicken legs. Turmeric powder for some earthiness and color. Slightly cracked and ideally toasted black peppercorns for a bit more heat, a bit more complexity. Salt. We want to use 1% of the chicken's weight in total, so half of that would go into the marinade and the other half into our sauce. Now the heroes of the marinade, the acids. We've covered marinating with acid quite extensively in our peri-peri chicken video. But in essence, acid breaks down proteins, leading to tenderization, better moisture retention, but more importantly, it alters the structure enough for these flavors to meaningfully penetrate. So we start with the stronger acid, the lime juice, which also brings the tang, the milder white vinegar, which will bring some sharpness. Give everything a rough mix, just to bruise the coriander a bit to help them release their flavors. Pour everything over our chicken legs, into the fridge at least 2 hours, but because of the strength of the acid, no more than overnight. I'll see you in a bit. Our chicken's almost ready, so now we make our fresh round of sauce. Here we have some toasted cashew nuts, not in the original recipe, but to impart some subtle roasted, grilled flavors that we've lost, and adds a bit of body to the sauce. Some toasted black peppercorn, just to reinforce round one. As usual, the harder ingredients, they go in first. Pesto mortar, you go. You can of course use a food processor if you're doing this in batches, but if time permits, I would still bruise them this way to really puncture the cell walls and really release their essential oils, especially later for the herbs. The ginger can become overpowering, so we use way less than we did in the marination process. Garlic. Once again, because we're using this raw, we remove the core. Round 2 jalapeno. This time we definitely remove the ribs. Once you have a paste-ish consistency, we introduce the soft herbs. Star of the show comes back. Once again, stalks and leaves. And just like a pesto, the grinding really makes a difference. Now, some optional mint leaves for freshness. And we didn't add this to the marinade because it's too delicate for the acid. This would give you the cooling effect to balance the spiciness of the chilies. Now we switch to technology to solve for texture and emotion. The other half, the 1%, lime juice. We're not using vinegar in this round to avoid too much sharpness that would overpower the dish. Same reason we omitted the turmeric, to avoid too much earthiness. And again, since it's cold, we can afford to use extra virgin olive oil for the taste, for the wonderful peppery note, and with the acid to form a mini emulsion. Perfect, now we can cook some chicken. Now with all the kitchen towels in the world, I've pat the chicken legs extremely dry because both surface moisture and acidity are enemies to good browning. So now, really hot pan, a generous amount of high smoke point neutral oil, in this case vegetable oil, given the uneven shape of the legs. These beautiful legs, the turmeric hue, they go in. Now, because chicken legs take a bit of time to cook on the stove, once the vigorous sizzling has subsided, meaning we've evaporated most of the surface moisture and the acidity, I encourage you to lower the heat slightly to medium to try to cook most of the legs on the skin side. This way, if we do get lucky, we might even end up with crispy skin. And during this time, we start basting the parts with uneven shapes to help them get started. Now we cook the other side. Look at this. Beautiful. Perfect. Once the thickest part has reached 70 degrees Celsius, they're ready. We simply let them rest for 5 to 10 minutes and we can plate. Our coriander pesto aioli. Remember, this thing is really overpowering. Oh, not chicken. This is Chicken Cafreal.